Hello, welcome back to TOGCAST. I am Mac, I'm one of the commentators here at TOGA, and we're back with another special guest. I call everybody special guests, but they are because it's not easy talking about yourself all the time. So we have a man who doesn't really need any introduction because he's so well known in the Toga community, and he's raced at so many races and championships. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Davide Mandolesi. Hello, Davide.
Hello, good evening. I've never had an introduction like that. That's good.
It was in my mind to say something cheeky, and then I'm like, no, let's keep this professional. So, we're going to run through the standard questions that we ask everybody. I've already said your name, so we can tick that one off.
Oh, that was a very hard one. Thank you for doing it.
You're very welcome. um, and if you don't know, Davida and myself can probably talk for about 6 hours. So keeping this to 30 minutes is it's going to be a struggle. But how old are you, Davida?
20 years old, almost 21 actually. I was born in November, so we're almost there.
Nice. So, for people that don't know, that is obviously in Italy. Davide, that's where he's based. That's where he does everything that he does. So, at the moment, you're studying. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. I'm currently in the second year of my software engineering class.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna start my third year of university in September or October, and yeah, that's my main occupation, my main thing that I do during my life. Let's
It
say.
it sounds like a full time job as it is. I obviously knew Davida was doing lots of exams and things like that. So I obviously knew a bit about that. But software engineer. If anyone is in Toga, I think we all know we now have hundreds of software engineers, app developers. It's crazy. It just seems to attract everybody. Um, so, out with sim racing, have you got any hobbies or interests?
Um, yeah, actually, I have obviously apart for motorsports and all the VM technology stuff that we have running, I really enjoy sports
Mm-hmm.
and in sports in general. Surprise someone, I'm not really into soccer or football, however you wanna call it.
Uh-huh.
Which, especially for Italian people, it's very, it's a rare thing. But yeah, I enjoy everything that's athletic or Olympic stuff, which I'm actually watching pretty actively right now and during these days because uh, Paris 2024 is running. So yeah, and other than that, yeah, obviously, as I said, I'm studying software engineering.
Mm-hmm.
I like everything that concerns that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, I think it's basically it.
Yeah.
I like
That.
running. One thing that not many people know is that I like running, and I'm planning to uh, do the next marathon in Rome, which is
Oh.
gonna be actually an historic one. I
Oh.
think it's gonna be the 100th, maybe
Wow.
something like that.
That's that would take for anyone, regardless of how fit they are. It would take them a while to train for it. So, have you got a training plan of how you're going to build up to marathon length?
Yeah, kind of. let's say I start with I don't start from ground
Uh-huh.
zero, luckily, because I've always done sports in my life
Yep.
since I were very 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 small.
Uh-huh.
Like my mom and my dad made me uh, do swimming
Uh-huh.
lessons since I was very small, very young, and I think younger than that you couldn't even register at the swimming pool. So
Right.
yeah, and after that I've done some basketball, even competitive stuff.
Okay.
We've done. I live in a small town,
Uh-huh.
but that that team with that team, we went to an Italian championship and we came out sixth
Oh,
and very, very close to the fourth place actually,
wow.
and to the fifth. So yeah, but th- all this just to be saying that I've done sports like
Mm-hmm.
forever in my life
Yep.
and I really enjoy it. And especially basketball really, really trains you to have that you don't lose the breath so
Mm-hmm.
easily. I don't know
Yep.
how to say it properly, but
Uh-huh.
I think you understand it.
Yep.
And also, when I started running like last year, I've I really didn't do many training sessions, but I quickly got into the big distances. I've done alpha marathon for like in training
Mm-hmm.
that same amount of distance I've done, and it wasn't that bad.
Right.
So I asked a little bit to my friends and people who know stuff about it, and they suggested a couple of uh, plans, let's
Uh-huh.
say,
Mm-hmm.
training plans,
Yep.
and I'm just gonna follow those
Mm-hmm.
for maybe the next month
Sure.
and months actually,
I think it's
and
always
prepare.
good to have be active when you spend long in a sim rig or endurance races. It's always just better to have an outlet that you can go and have a run and clear in mind.
Absolutely, yeah. For physical and mental side of things, it is very important, and yeah, especially if you do a job or maybe you study like I do,
Hmm.
and you're always sitting,
Yep.
then it's very important to do some physical activities too.
Yep.
And yeah, yeah, I
Ab-
really agree with what you said.
Absolutely. So, how long have you been sim racing?
Oh, that's a good question. It's I can't figure out the right number. I've been sim racing. I think for about like 3 years or
Okay.
something like that. But I actually have a more precise number, which is 1 year of more competitive sim racing, which
Hmm.
is started basically with the Toga rookie series
Uh huh.
in September. Yeah, it was the start of September 2023. So almost a year.
Wow. That's depressing. And the only reason I say that is Davide is very quick, and the championship, the rookie championship he was in, also had Peter Romeo, and I think you guys had quite a few battles.
Yeah, we did. We arrived to the last round and we were even on score. That was so crazy. Yeah, I really enjoyed everything about the battles with Peter. We battled. I think the only round we didn't battle was the first one in Spa
Hmm.
and the last one where he got punted, he got
Yeah.
crashed out
Yep.
at the Nürburgring GP, and that was such a shame because we could have had a very good battle as always. But yeah.
Absolutely. Yep.
And also, if I may,
Hmm.
my second race, aka my first win ever
Uh huh.
in a competitive race, was the first time you were commentating in Toga.
I was I was just trying to work out. I think I unofficially joined Toga in August, but I didn't start until like September, actually on the rookie championship. So wow, there you go. There was a first for both of us.
Yeah, it was in Zolder. I really remember it very clearly, and I remember you losing your voice and discussing about it in the post-race interview.
Yeah, that was it was a really good championship, that rookie one. It was, as you say, it was so close, right up to the last race. So it was really good, easy to commentate on. Um, so who and what has inspired you to get into the sim racing?
Okay, this is a very easy one.
Okay,
It's been my brother Dario.
right.
I mean, he has been and he continues to be my biggest inspiration overall
Wow.
in life.
Uh huh.
And also, obviously, more specifically here in all the sim racing,
Mm-hmm.
the sim racing stuff that we do. He's always supported me. He's
Yep.
always believed in what we do,
Mm-hmm.
and he's the one that introduced me to motorsports and sim racing.
Wow.
So
That is so good to hear. Um, and the crazy thing is, I follow Davida and Dario on Instagram, and I'm always jealous of the pictures that go up of the sunshine and food and just people looking as if they're enjoying their life. It's so good. But Dario, I've spoken to Dario as well, and he's such a nice guy. I can absolutely imagine that he would have supported you regardless of what you were doing. And in fact, is he still doing your race engineer?
yes,
Yeah.
less than before because basically now he is a bit more occupied with his work
Yep.
and his professional side of things.
Yep.
But he's still there when I need him.
Yeah.
I can always just ask him. We don't live in the same city. We don't live
Mm-hmm.
in the same house anymore
Right.
since 1 or 2 years
Uh huh.
now. So uh, it's also uh, an opportunity for us to catch up and
Yeah.
have a little bit of a chat. And every time, even if I need, let's say, 15 minutes of telemetry analysis and stuff like that, it always turns into 1 hour, 2 hours chat and everything that goes on in his side of Italy, which is more to the center slash north.
Uh huh.
So it's the part where the real race, real motorsports happen.
Uh huh.
And I live in Rome, actually a
Mm-hmm.
very small town close to Rome,
Uh huh.
on the seaside, and it's not that active in motorsports.
Sure.
Activities and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. We have less trucks and less
Mm-hmm.
everything.
Yeah. That makes sense. But no, it's really good to hear. What equipment are you using at the moment in your sim rig?
Okay, this one I've written it down because I couldn't remember everything by memory. And okay, the first ones are very easy. I'll start with those. The basic that everyone wants to know is the wheelbase and the pedals, and
Mm-hmm.
that's easy called Mozart 9 as wheelbase with
Okay.
Mozza GS V2 steering wheel on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I am using the Sim Magic P1000 pedal
Mm-hmm.
set,
Nice.
which I think they're the the highlight of my setup. I think they're very good. They're spectacular.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say about them. And all that is mounted on a Track Racer TR120,
Mm-hmm.
which has done a couple of journeys because it first arrived at Ricardo's house
Okay.
Ricardo is the third, not in order, is one of the three
Hmm.
founders of BM Technologies.
Okay. Hmm.
And we've had a couple of car meets
Hmm.
where, and also not only car meets, we were to one car meet and one uh, bike
Okay.
meet, I think, and
Hmm.
we brought the beast here. We brought it there, and I brought my PC in a suitcase in the train. It was massive. I didn't know where to put it, but yeah. Speaking of my PC, it has it's not that new, let's
Hmm.
say. It
Hmm.
has a Ryzen 5. Oh, the numbers are gonna be a pain here. Uh, 2600X
Okay.
as a CPU,
Uh-huh.
and I have a Radeon 6600 as a GPU.
Hmm.
So that's the equipment, and it all runs for a triple screen,
Hmm.
full 180p,
Okay.
160 hertz of refresh rate,
Oh,
and
okay.
they're all 24 inches. So
Right. Wow.
it's
That.
not the biggest triple screen that you can find out there, but
Mhm.
my GPU couldn't do much better than that, and I wasn't sure it could handle this. So.
Yeah. No, that's impressive. I'm sure there's plenty of people that are very jealous of the equipment that you have, but I, I know the answer to this, but I need to ask it anyway. What's your favourite car in
Oh,
Assetto Corsa Competizione?
okay. You're right. You already know the answer. It's the BMW M4 GT3. But I'm gonna surprise you with
Oh,
this. I've been recently trying out the Ferrari,
oh,
the 296,
yep.
and I absolutely hate it. But uh, the thing is, it's not that bad once you get used to it, because
Right.
coming from the BMW
Mm-hmm.
and the setup that we made with my brother,
Uh-huh.
uh, the suspension, the dampers
Mm-hmm.
work like magic on that one.
Ah.
And if you go from that to the Ferrari and you touch the tiniest curb that you can imagine, your car jumps and explodes. So you have to uh, basically change your driving style, avoid curbs. At
Yep.
least that's what I've done.
Mm-hmm.
And then I discovered that there's one way to take curbs, and it's not always like that. It's
Mm-hmm.
very tricky.
Yep.
I'm not sure that I figured completely how to do it yet,
Mm-hmm.
but on some tracks I know where to put my wheels, and still managing to cut curves, but
Yep.
not lose time or lose control of the car and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And when that happens, I feel like the Ferrari is faster.
Mm-hmm.
At least I can push it more than the BMW sometimes,
Right.
but
Okay.
still the BMW is my car of choice. It
Yeah.
is the car that I know better than any others, and the car in which I can feel most comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Which
that,
is
that is my answer.
it's it's unusual to find someone. Well, it's not unusual, but to hear someone who, let's face it, 1 year serious racing to stick with one car. A lot of people chop and change, or they don't like the 296, but they like maybe the 488 or the something else. But I mean, I seen how quick you are in the BMW, and it's jaw dropping. It really is.
Thank
Um,
you.
no, no problem. Do you have a favorite track?
Yes, and that's the easiest question that you asked me today. It is Misano.
Oh,
It's gotta be Misano.
yeah, I love it as well. A lot of people hate it.
Yeah, and I actually get them.
Yeah.
It's a very strange one,
Mhm.
especially for a lot of the tracks that we run in ACC and that GT3 run
Mhm.
are tracks that are homologated for F1,
Yep.
and they the track that are not in that categories
Mhm.
are maybe like Snetterton, maybe like I'm thinking about Donington
Yep.
Park. They're either F1 tracks or uh, like
Touring cars.
yeah, but
Mhm.
I mean, there's these two categories, and I feel like Misano does not fit into any of those two,
Yep.
and but still, it's a track that I know really well.
Mhm.
My brother Dario lives basically 5 minutes away from it. I've
Oh.
never been actually on the track,
Uh huh.
but like actually driving.
Yep.
But I've been there for events and stuff
Mhm.
like that. I've been recently there um, for the Superbike, for the
Yeah.
World Superbike round,
Mhm.
and it's amazing to just stand there and see, oh, there
Yeah.
is where I put my wheels
Yeah.
on the simulator, and those guys do these lines and stuff like that, and see all
Mhm.
the champions and stuff like that. But still, it is I'm pretty confident to say that it is VM Tech's home track, even
Right.
though we have Ricardo, which lives in Modena, and there is a track there
Uh huh.
as well. But I feel like Misano is bigger. I feel
Mhm.
like Misano is more internationally known,
Yes. Yep.
even though it is a bit hated into ACC community. So yeah,
I
but I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it.
No, absolutely. I love the track. I think a lot of people get annoyed with the track limits. That there's a
Oh
very
man,
fine line between being on the ultimate racing line and dipping your tire completely off, and that's your lap done.
absolutely. I hate it too for that reason. But
Yep.
once you really know the limit that
Yep.
you cannot overstep,
Yep.
then it gets a little bit better.
Uh huh.
It's very difficult because, as you said, in order to go very fast, the really ideal lines are pushing the limits
Yep.
as they can,
Uh huh.
and being every time 1 centimeter uh, farther than not farther, sorry, if you basically, what I'm trying to say, if you over push just a tiny bit, you're off,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
the track limit warnings
Yeah.
will come, especially in the race,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Absolutely. No, it's great to have that size of track, and I don't just mean physical size, but as you say, it's world known. To have that as a home track, to have that so close that you can go and visit, I think that's just amazing. I think it brings the sim towards reality more.
Yeah, it does, and I actually hope that one day I will have the opportunity to go there and actually drive something around the track, even though
Yeah.
it might even be a track day, whatever.
Ah,
I would enjoy it so much.
yeah, absolutely. To say you drove a car around Misano would be just you could put that on your CV when you go
Yeah,
to jobs.
I probably would, yeah.
Yeah.
My brother actually did drive a couple of supercars around there for
Oh,
the job that he had before this one.
yep.
And it, it's not like he drove for a job, but the
Uh-huh.
job that he did had the opportunity to do those kind of things because they were often on tracks and
Yep.
testing stuff, and it would basically design parts of the cars or
Mhm.
bikes, and then they would test them.
Yep.
And sometimes they had some spare time or spare, no, tires, and they just enjoyed it. So Oh, every time he tells me about when he goes, I don't know, when he
Mm,
went actually,
yeah.
Pisano, Portimao, Mugello,
Ah,
whatever. It's such a, I don't know. It makes me feel like I would do the same things. I would like to do the same things,
yeah.
and I'm very proud of my brother that
Mm-hmm.
he basically he knew what to do in his life.
Yeah.
He knew that he had a passion. He always worked to make his way into racing, into
Mm-hmm.
the motorsport side of the jobs and
Yeah.
of the works that you could do. And he's built basically a lot of stuff that I wouldn't even imagine that could be the case.
Yeah.
And he, he sometimes it felt like he was telling me stories that were made up because they didn't feel real to
Yeah.
me, but I knew that they were real, and to have that kind of passion and have that kind of interests
Mm-hmm.
and making them reality is something that I can only respect and hope that I will do something similar with my passions and my
Absolutely.
inspirations.
Yeah. Absolutely. Um, you've obviously answered the how long you've been part of Toga. Um, what championships are you either going to be are racing in at the moment or going to be in the near future?
Okay, for now, I'm only racing. Oh, actually, I'm racing two championships. I was thinking about only one of those
Uh-huh.
two, but yeah, I'm racing the Toga World Tour not round, sorry, season two.
Season
Okay,
two.
that's the name. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going kind of nicely
Mm-hmm.
for now.
Good.
Especially the last two rounds. The first ones were a little bit of a disappointment, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is the Toga Endurance Series.
Yeah.
Um, these are the ones that I'm doing inside of Toga, and I'm thinking about actually taking part in the World Tour Season 3
Oh,
too.
nice.
Uh, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to do that. The new semester
Uh-huh.
in the university will be kind of bad. I'm gonna have one day every week. The Wednesday will be so much pain. It's gonna be 12 hours straight
Oh,
with no pause, no nothing in between. It's gonna be damn hard, but yeah.
yeah. Uh,
Uh,
it really. It sounds like it. And I suppose that's the balance between obviously what you're studying for is going to be funding the rest of your life, but the passion is still there for the sim racing, so it's always a balance between the two.
yeah. I will. I actually would be the happiest person in the entire earth, in
Mm-hmm.
my opinion, if I could maybe one day um, apply what I'm studying to
Mm-hmm.
sim racing and to real racing, and
Yep.
I'm already trying to work something out for it,
Yeah.
and I'm working some projects inside of VM technology
Good.
for that. But it's this one that I'm doing right now are only, let's say,
Uh-huh.
a starting point, and I'm really hoping that it becomes my actual job
Yep.
to apply what I'm learning and apply it for the motorsport,
Mm-hmm.
for the sim racing and these kinds um, uh, of works that I
Mm-hmm.
will be able to do if I actually put myself into it. And I think it's possible. I
Oh,
think it
yeah.
is. It's definitely hard. I will definitely need to do a lot of sacrifices in between, because
Yeah.
obviously that's a long journey,
Yeah.
and also I will not be able to do that as soon as I get out of university. I think
Yeah.
I will need to gain experience and
Mm-hmm.
learn how others work, and
Yep.
how things that I've learned are applied, and all
Mm-hmm.
that kind of stuff. But yeah,
Yeah.
I that's possible. If I can make it in this way,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna be very satisfying, and
Yeah.
very it will reward me.
Yeah. Absolutely. If you can merge job and passion together, you'll never feel like you're working a day in your life, which is amazing. So we have unfortunately reached the end of the talkcast. Like I say, I could talk to you for hours upon hours, and I have. But I want to thank you for coming on, Davida. I want to thank you for your support with Toga, and I can only wish you all the luck in the world with all your studies.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you for having me. And yeah, I will just say one last thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's you're thanking me for the support that I'm showing to Toga. Yes, but that wouldn't be possible if Toga wasn't a thing. So I'm very happy to do it. I see something that I enjoy. I see something that I like, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm really grateful of you actually. All the Toga staff and members
Mm-hmm.
bringing this reality along, and making it better, improve every time, and the the amount of dedication that I see is incredible. So it's actually my pleasure to show a little bit of support when I can.
Oh, amazing, Davida. Thank you so much. So, if you've enjoyed this, if you're watching on YouTube, please like, subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify, make sure you're following us, and there'll be another podcast next week. Until then, take care. Bye bye.